Let's get down to business.
Hello. My name is Pilar Locko, and I am here today on behalf of Image, and we are doing a podcast, and we are introducing some of past students and some people that we think are going to inspire other people getting into the industry, in the industry, and hopefully, share some insight of what it's like to be part of the fitness industry. And we have the gorgeous Rachel Glanville with us today.
Woo! Hi.
Introduce yourself.
Yes. So my name is Rachel, as Claire has introduced, but I am 26. I am currently an online coach, which did come from obviously doing the PT course itself. I was in a gym for a few years prior to that, and then I went on to doing the online itself. So that is my full-time job at the moment. I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's all been great at the moment, yeah.
So you are a full-time trainer online. You don't work in a gym.
No. So I was in the gym scene for I think about 1.5 or 2 years. And then I was always doing online on the side. So there was always a bit of an aspect with online, but it was never my 100% kind of like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. This is it. And I loved face-to-face as well. Mm-hmm. And it was definitely something that I was like engrossed in. But I do think I moved abroad, and that was a deciding factor. Firstly, that I did obviously leave the gym I was in. And then, online really took off from there, 100%.
Yeah. I love watching your stuff online because I just think that you're like just this beautiful, positive energy. And it's really
like on
nice
social media.
To see, because, like all your posts on Instagram and stuff, and you're just like a beacon of like positivity and body confidence, and you just kind of are away from like the status quo. I just feel like
I really
just a nice, more like relaxed
kind of vibe
to it. Yeah, I'm all about that.
It was definitely when I started even the page itself, Life in Gym Gear, shout out.
Gear, we love it.
Like I started that page I'd say about 2.5 years ago, so like it's like it didn't just like come overnight, but I remember when I started I was like, right, this has to be real. Like I'm not jumping on this just to share some photos. Like I am doing this to be very real, to show myself. Because I do firmly believe that people buy into personality a lot more than like a photo, or a lot more than just like what you kind of look like on the outside. So I was very much so on stories, talking, sharing videos. And even as you say there, like I'm very, very positive on social media, but I will also show some days that aren't so great. But I don't like to do that too much. But exactly, that's it.
Little bits and pieces of
little bits. Yeah, because obviously you don't want to see me crying every week, but like I will just put up like a little thing every now and again just to be like, look, like I'm so happy, I'm very happy, but some days we do get down, and it's very important for people to realize that, because nobody is just mechanically happy all of the time. Like we're not robots, and I think, as you say, I'm very positive online, and I am also have those little days where I'm down.
I feel like there's a lot of people online, not everyone, but it's hard to watch sometimes for people in the public, because they're seeing all these positive people. They're like, you're happy. I know, I get it. Like, you're happy all the time.
How?
It's like, no. Like, we're not happy all of the time.
But that's where comparison comes from.
I don't have my phone out when I'm not happy, and then you almost have like a bit of pressure to make sure that you are showing.
I want to be like that.
A little bit of vulnerability, and it's not all like rainbows and butterflies.
One thing I always wanted was like, obviously I know, and you know yourself, we all do it, we all compare, but like I'll go onto someone's page and I'll be like, oh my God, they live such a good life and they're so happy and everything's amazing. And I was like, I don't want anyone to feel like that when they come on my page. I was like, I want people to see that, yes, I live a very good life, but I also am human and I feel this way sometimes. Do you know what I mean? So it's very, very important. Like an online presence needs to be taken with realness, because a lot of people show up to it in different ways. I get that, but I think a very huge aspect to what I do is showing the realness behind it, definitely.
Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for that. And
thank you, yes.
I do have a lot of respect for you. So
no, but you did that. I always see that in yours as well. And that's why I love surrounding people with those, like surrounding yourself with people like that. It's very, very important to be aware, like to have these people on your timeline, to have these people looking at stories like that obviously give you some positive light, but also show you that it's not always like that. Yeah.
So you come across to be very self-aware.
Yes.
person. You're definitely somebody that does, you read and stuff, I know that.
Yeah.
But like you're very into self-awareness, and I think that comes across through your page. You're taking time. So go back to Rachel before you did the course. I want to kind of know about, like,
oh, God bless her. Oh wow, Rachel before anything. So growing up, obviously, I won't lie, I was always the extra kid on the block. Do you know what I mean? Like out of all my friends, I was that one that was like loud and proud. Do you know what I mean? And I was always extra. And
confident.
yes. Now, not in a bad way, but it did lead me into, like, in school, I was the girl that was talking in the class all the time. Do you know what I mean? Now, the only thing is teachers did love me at the same time. So it wasn't that I did it out of badness. I was still getting what I needed to do, doing what I needed to do, but I'd always be talking in little bits and bobs like that. So,
but in an inquisitive way, not in a...
No, it was never harmful.
Teacher, like,
yeah,
you were like, why?
I always, you know yourself. In class, I'd be like, what beat is that? I'd be like, where does my toe go? But
another question.
Yeah.
That behavior.
I am, and God, Lorcan, the tutor who I had an image, like, he would always be like, here's another question. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, always. And even just growing up, my mom would always be like, God, I'd literally tell you an orange is orange, and you'd be like, why? Do you know what I mean? So that was huge to me. And that's where my passion for teaching actually came from. And that's where, growing up, yes, I was always kind of louder, and I always asked questions, and I was always kind of, the one to put up my hand, or the one to step out and be like, this is what's happening. Do you know what I mean? Or we're going to do this. And my friends, I did obviously come into some roadblocks with it, of course, because you do lose some friends along the way that might judge that.
Yes.
But it also shows you who your real friends are.
It's a little bit intimidating, I think, for some people who would be
quieter,
a little bit insecure, or you don't know what's going on in people's backgrounds or whatever, but they mightn't have. I don't know, did you have what was your environment like? Did you have supportive parents? Did you have...
Yeah, do you know what? I come from a big enough family. Like, I have 2 sisters and a brother, so I'm the youngest as well. So as you know that,
like
being the baby,
brother, he's the boldest. Like,
yeah.
He gets away with murder. Like,
this is it. Yeah,
brilliant, because he's obviously had all our support, being like, he's right. Like, that's good.
So I had a lot of kind of growing up. My 2 sisters are quite literally my best friends, and they wouldn't be like, you're right. This is it. They put me in my place when I needed to, and they would also big me up when they needed to as well. So that was the difference. I knew what was right and what was wrong with my personality traits. So it wasn't as if I was always kind of, out there and doing things that I was like, is that right or wrong the way I'm doing this? Like, I always had my sisters to back me or to tell me what's wrong and what's right. And there is a significant age difference there as well. So yeah, it was from the get-go. I had an amazing environment, 100%. And my friends, I had a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that I've had in school now. I did lose them along the way, but I still have a very tight net of friends that are just amazing. Like, and this is the thing, like, they would never change me for the world. And that's how you know. That's how you know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I know a lot of your friends and all, just, you're gorgeous girls. Like, you're all very nice and, like, caring and kind, just in general. Like, you'd never, you aren't the kind of bitchy type.
We actually never were. No, we're never like the most dramatic group. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, you're a lovely bunch. Okay, right. So you did your course.
Yes.
Right. And you obviously did it with Image because we're the best. And then,
shout out again. Yes.
What happened after that? So when you were in your course, did you have a plan? So you just kind of slipped into the online stuff, or were you like, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go into the online business, or did you know what was going on?
So I would say I obviously have a little bit of a background in, when I went to college, I did the education and training. I was teaching for a while. And that's why I say, like, always asking questions. I was like, right, people who ask questions need answers, and I'm going to give them that. And that's where I came from. I was like, I want to teach people how I wanted to be taught. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I could never understand things. I needed it to be broken down so simply.
Yeah, I'm the same. That's like me too. I'm like, okay, let's try to go back from the start.
Let's some people read to understand, some people look to understand, some people listen to understand, and I was like, I want every aspect. And teaching was
different brains.
So teaching was huge to me, and that's when I got into that. And I went off and I was teaching for a while, and I came home and I was like, I just don't know if this sets my soul on fire. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I just always, and even growing up, I was always loud and out there, as I said, and I was always like, I'm gonna do something amazing with this personality that I have, and it's gonna hold to me, like. And when I came home, I was actually traveling abroad for a while, and I came home, and there was a little bit of a transition period. Obviously, COVID was going on the C word that we all hate, but COVID was going on, and I was like, do you know, what am I doing with my life? Because this isn't making me 100% to my happiness capacity happy. And
self-awareness again, you knew, you're like, okay, what is going on here? Yeah.
But it was also quite tough because you then have, now as I said, my sisters were amazing, my family were amazing, but my mom and dad are in that genre, are in that age group where they were like, you're going to leave a stable job, like a stable career to pursue this. They were like, does that have a pension? Does that have, a more, like, and I was kind of like, well, yeah. I was like, but it took a very long time to take the jump. But when I did, it was the best thing I ever did, of course. And it did. Even now, my mom and dad ask questions, and I'm just like, please stop, because it's the simplest of things. And I'm like, please, guys, we're doing well, okay? That's all that matters. But 100% anyone as well that does listen and that is in a position where they want to take that leap from something stable to something that's going to make them happy, take it, because you're going to regret it, obviously. But as well as that, there's always expectations around the decisions that you have to make, and your expectations should be held front and foremost.
Oh my God, yes, girl.
Do you know? So when I was deciding this, my mom and dad were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, no. And I remember walking over here.
I'm listening to myself.
No, literally, I was sobbing walking over here with my envelope of money to pay for the course. God. And I was like, I got this. I back myself. I was like, there is no way I can't succeed now, because I know that this is all I have. Do you know?
Yeah.
I actually stopped teaching and I went on the dole, because I was like, if I don't give this 100% now, I never will. I actually got rejected from the dole, so that was amazing. No, look, so it's fine. I always look back. Yeah, I look back and I'm like, God, that was a lot. But
you living at home?
Yeah, so I always had a roof over my, like, like very, very happy, very, very grateful for that.
So they did support you in that sense of, right, okay.
Oh,
we're gonna just breathe.
Very supportive, yeah. I did have very supportive parents, but they were also just said the wrong things at the wrong time. That's it. That's how I'll put it.
Parents do that though as well.
Yeah. So then obviously I did do the course, and it was never in my mind of doing online. Like, oh my God, I made the Instagram page before I even started the course, because I was like, I'm building this up now because it will stand to me, of course. But I also, at that time, as I said, I didn't have a job. And I didn't really know what to do. So I was like, let's put my energy into something that future me will thank myself for. And that's exactly what I did. And that grew then very, very, like, not rapidly, but it does have a very nice community in it and a very nice engagement. Do you know what I mean? So there was always people asking questions and asking things and asking when I could help them or when I couldn't. So that's where online came from.
Yeah. And it almost keeps you on fire, like keeps the fire burning.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like...
Fact.
And people are asking you questions and you need to know more. And
you learn so much. Yeah. And I actually always remember even Lorcan saying to us, like, the way you learn is through not knowing the answer to a question. And I was like, yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Shout out to Lorcan.
Yeah. And but yeah, like literally, and I was always like, right, if anyone asks me something, I'm gonna know, and I'm gonna know everything about it. But that's where, like, honestly, it always all came from answering questions, like, and that's why I made the page, to obviously give. I always said, like, obviously it's a job, you have to make money from it, but it was never the main factor that drove me towards it.
I think there's a thing like confidence, competence, so you have to have the ability to do the job, the task at hand, supply the service. People are paying you money, you need to respect that, and have the knowledge there. You can't just be like, I know, oh, this is market.
You can't tell people. You can't tell. You have to teach. Yeah,
exactly.
100%. So yeah, then online. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'd be laughing at myself sometimes.
Was there ever a place where you felt a little bit lost? Like, was there ever like, oh, I don't know where to go here or what to do, because you learn, what to teach
in those times.
Teach. But now you're a business person too. You're an entrepreneur, essentially.
CEO.
Gas. Like, I got my own company. Like your own business. So you have to also be a business person.
I know. There's a lot of aspects that you don't even realize, and I think I got very lost and caught up in social media, as in not like other people's, but in my own. I was like content, spent so much time on that, and I loved it. And then there came to a point where I was like, okay, doing content's amazing, but am I making money? Like,
yes,
It's not all about money. Absolutely not. But you have to serve. You have to live.
Your
do
parents
you know?
going to be like, right, okay, you're going to move out? Like,
Yeah.
How are you going to pay
What are you
for
doing?
your
Like,
rent?
yeah.
I live here forever.
No, literally in the basement.
But look at all my followers, Mom. Look.
Yeah, literally. But you know, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
Like, are these followers going to actually help you grow? And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, in that point, when I did move abroad, so I was working in the gym beforehand, and then I moved abroad, and I did have to take that leap fully online. And I think that's when I was like, right, content. I was trying to, you know, grow TikTok, grow Instagram, I was like, well, I do YouTube. And I was kind of pulling myself in all different directions for this content. And then I was like, took a step back and I was like, is this helping me though? And is it the right content I'm creating? Because there's a difference between content creation and marketing. So yeah, I was like, wait 1 minute, like, and I always say I love what I do. I love creating content that people can get free information from, and I'll never stop that. But yes, I did at one stage become very lost in the fact that I was like, why aren't I growing? And it's because I was getting very stuck in similar ways and I wasn't actually taking those next leaps, as you say, a business. I was kind of just like, this is fine. I'm floating along. I'm on Instagram. Everything's
fun.
Yeah,
I'm
literally having fun. And then we moved abroad. We were away for about 6 months. And when I came home again, I remember I cried for about 2 weeks straight. 'Cause I was like, since I left to now, I haven't grown that much. And I was like, that's not what you want. If you're not growing, something's wrong. And I was like, what is... Now, there was a little bit of growth, but nothing that I wanted. You know, I was like, no, it should be more than this. Like, my business should be taken off. Like, it should be a lot expanding more. And I should be actually able to help more people because I have it in me to. And I was like, how do I do this? And I was very, very lost. And I was very, very much so like, just like, what am I doing from here? And that's when I was like, right, I got new kind of backgrounds and systems put in place. I kind of was like, this is it now, head down. I did change up my not content entirely, but I did kind of put things together a bit differently. And I really, really sat down with myself and I told myself that no matter what I do, no matter how I do it, I'm not going to be quitting. So if no, it's out of the question. Yeah. So I was like, so if this doesn't work and if I'm not giving this 100%, why am I doing it?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget that week where I was like, this is it. And I'm not messing. Since sitting down and talking to myself the way I did and making sure that I backed myself more than anyone else, I'd never been busier. I'd never had that kind of, that drive in me that I was like, this is going to happen, you know, and it did.
You
and
made a decision to yourself.
Instead of thinking about it, I was doing it. Instead of just thinking, I'm doing, grand, I was kind of like, I'm just floating through, everything's fine. And then I was like, no. I was like, this is serious now. Do you know what I mean? We're doing this. So, yeah.
So for anybody who's thinking, right, okay, I want to get into this business. I want to be able to help people and go online. There clearly is money to be made in the online business.
Yeah.
When did you get into it? How many years are you in it now?
So with online, I'm fully online a year.
Okay.
But I have been doing online for about 2-3 years maybe. March 3 years. That's when
there's a lot of people being like, oh, but is there money in it? Is the market like, is it saturated now? Like, blah, blah, blah. I just feel there's so many people in the world and the population and people just
it's so easy to do.
Now people are like, oh, I don't go to the gym, and they're like, everybody is now like looking for a trainer, looking for somebody, looking for that help and support.
I know.
And there definitely is money to be made in. I don't work online. I'm in the gym and I'm successful in my own
right. But that's even huge still,
but there's so much space. Like there's not. Like,
so much, especially online, because it's not as if you're taking up space in a specific area. You are online. Like
people.
Do people understand how big online is?
I always look how many hairdressers there are in Swords. There's not that amount of gyms. There's so many people.
I know. And people will always be like, is there a point? And I was like, I'm sorry, but my first thought when I was like, will I do this? Will I do the course? Will I not do the course? Was like, who am I? What dent am I going to make in this industry? Because there's already so many people making dents. Why would I stroll into this?
You're a person. You have, you're Rachel Glanville. There's no other you.
Fact, yeah.
And you are attracting and helping people that you are meant to attract and help.
Yeah.
Like I see you and you stand alone in, like, you're into your clothes and your fashion and you put up videos with scrunchies on your wrists. And
I know,
like,
yeah.
I love that. And it shows that, you know, you can be into them type of things.
And help people an awful
still,
lot, yeah.
You know, be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Clients were laughing this morning. Have you ever seen Legally Blonde?
Yeah.
Like, she's not taken seriously because she's so pretty and she's so airy and she's so nice. And it's like, oh, don't underestimate.
Well, wait, you just wait. Yeah. No, 100%. Because even I always, do you know what? Not that I was quite smart about it, but I did know, right, people who go to the gym like gym gear. So why on earth, I have wardrobes full of this. Why wouldn't I be giving people this information? They go to the gym. They like gym gear, and now it also allows us to engage with each other because they are obviously like,
and people don't know where to buy or what to buy.
No, and it's one thing I always notice. Like, I'd be looking for gym gear and I didn't know what size to get, and I'd be looking on people's, like, look, what size do they have?
Rachel puts up her outfits all the time.
Yeah,
She always looks fantastic. And she'll put in links of where she bought them.
Sizes, the best kind of ranges,
So
no, that's,
on the gym.
The gym gear. So that's what I kind of got lost in for a while. Yeah. And that's how the page grew. Do you know what I mean? And people still love that. So I know it's a huge engagement. Yeah. But yeah, as you were saying though, as well with just the industry in general and kind of, you know, wanting to get into it, being like, oh, do you know, am I worth it really? Do you know what I mean? Is it worth it? Yeah. No, there's a lot of aspects. This is the other thing. There's so many routes that you can take. Like I obviously, of course, like my number one priority is my clients and training and being able to do what I do and teach. But I also love, as you said, gym gear. I love doing fun videos. I love, you know, putting up work.
Do that.
Like there's so much you can do with it. Like it's not just, you know, hi, this is how you do a squat. That is just, it's not like just about that.
Because I dance and do dance videos and I have dance classes. I'm like, oh, I might see as just like, she's just the dance girl. Oh, no, hang on.
No, I do a bit of it all.
I have.
I'm also a teacher. I'm a tutor. Sorry, like literally. Yeah.
So, But I want to ask you just for people, because I'm more for the students and they're doing their thing now. And, you know, people coming up being like, I find you have a boyfriend.
Yes.
I love love. I thought today was Valentine's Day.
No, you're like, on Tuesday's Valentine's Day, so I have to ask about Ben. I was like, in my head calculating.
I'm a week early for Valentine's Day.
We love it. Today can be our Galentine's Day, okay? We can do it. So
today is Galentine's Day.
Yes. Oh, stop.
It's now an international holiday. But yeah, I want to know, was it hard? Because people can be like, oh, she's posting videos and this, that, and the other boys are going to like
having
it.
Another half,
There's that kind of side of it as well, where it's like, oh, you're putting up a picture in your crop top or your bikini or your swimsuit.
The photo shoots.
Oh my God. And there are parts of the population that will be like, who do you think you are? Like, well, like your ass is out, or like, like you're showing off your body because you worked hard for that, and you're also, you know, you're celebrating your woman, like your femininity, you know, that kind of way. Do you ever come into that with Ben? Like, what way is he? Is he
the kind of support system and stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's actually gas because I have only actually been with Ben like 2.5 years, maybe. Just a bit.
As well,
yeah, Ben's a coach too. And do you know what? When I first started and I was starting in the gym, Ben was really trying to get into online. And that's where I saw that from. I was like, whoa, okay, what's online? Do you know what I mean? And that's where that kind of came from with me as well. But yes, he is very, very supportive. But he, again, will also... See, the difference is, okay, and as you're saying, there's people that will kind of say, what are you doing that for? Or why are you putting that up? Mm-hmm. And then you could also have a partner that, like, you know, supports it, or else you have a partner that doesn't care at all. Yeah. And I'm kind of like, Ben is very much so a bit of everything. So he will tell me if something's a bit much. Well, he won't tell me. He won't say, no, take that down. But he might make, like, you know, a little joke. And I'll know. But, you know, I'll know then that maybe it is a bit too much because he won't do that a lot. Like, he'll only, like... And really, he doesn't do it at all. But say, for example, like my photo shoot and things like that, like he was behind the scenes video and everything for me. Like he was like, you know, he will back me with whatever I do as I do for him. And I think that's huge as well, even with being a woman, as you said, your feminism and trying to, you know, but like, especially being in the gym and working hard for what you do, like, he understands that because he also does that. I won't look at his page and say, you have your top off there. Do you know, like, why'd you have that up? Because I know that he's not putting that up for people to clickbait it. He's putting it up to show this is what I work hard for. This is what we can accomplish together, what you can do. And he knows that with me then as well. So obviously, yes, there will be things that I put up and he's fine. He's always fine. But there could be things that he'll make a little joke about. Still, I'll be like, oh, gas, but always support. It's never out of harm. It's never out of jealousy. It's always out of support.
And they're going online, they're posting pictures of them.
Yeah.
And they might have somebody that's,
backlashing it.
Yeah, kind of pulling them down or being like, why are you doing that? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That's out of jealousy.
You need a supportive partner and they should
even friends. Like, this is friends is even worse, I think.
Smart comments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. When I started my page, I was like, pizza pata, just thinking about what my friends will think.
Yeah.
My brother, I was like, whoa, like.
The brothers.
No, the brothers. I was like, block, 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 block. But yeah, I was like, okay, I need to just tell my friends that this is happening. I'm making this page. I have never had a smart comment from any of my friends about what I do. Never had them try pull me down. And if I did, you don't need to be around those people.
Yeah,
like,
change.
yes, change your narrative there because if there's anyone trying to pull you down, they're clearly a little bit of a step below you and they're not trying to pull you up to what they want and what they want to do. And I'm also not saying that in a bad way with being below you or anything like that. I don't think I'm above,
like it's
but it is out of,
hold someone's ladder, climb
help.
The ladder, don't be a snake. Like, let's all go up.
Let's all go up, 100%. But as you know, like I do think actually girls against girls is worse than boys, like than a partner saying, oh, you should take that down. It's the sly comments with girls, and I am blessed and grateful that none of my friends have ever and would never. And I have that support. Now, do you know what? Sometimes my sisters might be like, whoa. But I think that's the different ages as well.
Yeah,
like,
probably trying to protect you as well.
Yeah. But like, love them to bits. I know but this thing, there's a difference between doing it maliciously and out of jealousy. And there's a difference between doing it out of love. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you're a very confident person and you seem very secure. But do you ever have those days where you're like,
yes.
I'm not confident, I'm not secure.
I don't want to get out of bed. Like, 100%. And do you know what it is as well? It's sad because it's not shown. I actually feel like I don't even show it enough, but I do try to show it even a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But I know that I am very confident. And in the sense of I show up for myself.
Yeah.
So being confident, I feel, isn't just, thinking you have it like all figured out, all is good. You go through the day just being the happiest version of you. Being confident is knowing that you can have those down days, knowing that, not everything's perfect, that you don't look perfect, that, what you do isn't perfect, but you still do it. You still show up. You still get things done. And, you do it happily as well. You're proud. Like, I'm actually proud that, I'm confident in the fact that, there's still things that I might want to change or there's still things that I know aren't perfect, but that makes me more. So, like, this is all good.
You're
Like,
learning and you're doing and you're being inquisitive and you're falling down and you're saying you're learning the lessons and then you're getting up and you're more knowledgeable then and you're moving forward constantly, and that's great. So anyone who can't find themselves out of that rut, like, they're falling down, they're like, I'm falling down again, I'm not.
What's the point?
On.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Like, I won't lie, I do find myself in those ruts very often, and I think it's what comes with definitely the job. Working for yourself is extremely hard, and I think your own mindset is your worst enemy sometimes. I fall into those ruts quite a lot, but I also know, and the thing is, when you go through the ruts a few times, you're going to get back out of them. That's the thing. And you're like, it's fine.
Practice
next week. Next week I'm going to be fine.
Okay.
This is it. So the first time that you obviously you might feel down or you might fail or you might get into that rut where you're like, I'm not good enough. What am I going to do? Why am I doing this? Just know that you will come out the other side, and if you don't try to come out the other side, you'll regret it. You'll regret not trying.
It's like a muscle. It's only going to get stronger through repetition. So keep trying, keep falling over, keep learning.
But that's how but failing means that you're on your way to success. Like you could succeed and then keep going and fail again. But that doesn't mean anything. It's a constant climb. Like it's a constant ladder that you're trying to get up.
I heard when you said, if I'm not growing, like there's something wrong here.
Oh yeah.
So we're here to evolve and to grow and to be
uncomfortable,
But we're so
natural,
used to just being in our own
creatures,
space. We're just creatures of habit.
Yeah.
That's what we are. So it's trying to be like to people, right, okay, you need to make a change. You need to get out of these habits. You need to start moving forward.
100%. But it's very hard, it's very easy, firstly, to get into the ruts. It's very hard to remind yourself that you're going to get out of them. But your mindset is your biggest enemy, but also your best friend. And you need to make sure that if you are firstly coming into the industry and even anything with falling into those ruts, your mindset needs to you need to back yourself just as much as anything else. So your mindset switches that too.
Your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah. 100% because
in the downtimes.
Yeah, if you're not,
literally, you can do it.
Yeah, but even last week, I remember I was very, very down, and I did feel it. And now this week, I'm like a different person. Do you know what I mean? And last week, the one thing that I knew, I was like, I'm getting up, I'm going to the gym. I'm getting up, I'm seeing my friends. I'm getting up, I'll see my family, this and that. And I was like, because if I don't do those things, I'll be worse.
Through the motions.
Do your day-to-day habits. Do your routine. That's why habits are so important as well. Because if you don't have habits built, they're the first thing to take a knock. So you'll wake up, you'll feel bad. I'm not going to the gym. I want to eat chocolate. I want to do this. Well, yeah, that's why habits are so important. That's why discipline is so important, because you create these things and they'll never get a knock. So even if you feel bad, you're still doing them. You're still going through it. Yeah, 100%.
And you need to do it even when you're feeling good.
Yeah.
So that when you're feeling bad, the habit is
It just knocks in. Yeah,
and
yeah.
You just have to do it by default. You're like, no, this is what we do now. This is
literally,
now, and that's how it is.
They are. It's deadly. But
so what's next for Rachel? Tell me. Do you have anything?
So obviously there's a lot of, as you said, there'd be people in the courses and stuff like that might find themselves in ruts and stuff. And me and Ben we're planning to do a seminar as well. To kind of have. It's kind of like a little bit of a blank spot, I really think, when you come out of the course and you start your job. And do you know what as well? You're obviously more than likely have a job or are making money and are a little bit more stable in some aspect. And then you do the PT course to hopefully come into that industry. Yeah. And it's very, very hard to leave your stable and to come into something new. So
it's scary. It's the unknown. Yeah.
Yeah. So
taking a big risk.
Yeah. And we were like, I've been through that, obviously. Ben's been through that as well. So we're like, it would be amazing to be able to help people that do find themselves in that blank spot where it's just like, what am I doing? How do I take that jump? How do I get clients? How do I make sure that I can actually be stable in this? Even online, how do I make an online presence with myself and bring myself into that? And systems behind the scene as well. That was a huge thing that I used to fall down on. And that's it. Like I fell down on that so much, but now I can teach people or let people know how to do it to actually not make the mistakes I made. So yeah, we're hoping to get a little seminar together as well for that. Just to kind of help people a little bit more, just to grow and to just start really, because I do think that's such a hard, doing the course is amazing. But your experience.
Simon here does an after course kind of seminar.
I don't know if it was on when I graduated. And so I don't think it was on. So
try come to the
next one. Definitely.
Very good. Just to.
Yeah, no, I love, because just learning. Do you know what I mean? Always.
Because you learn from everybody. Somebody always has something different to say. And you're like,
yeah.
Interesting.
But it's definitely something amazing to do.
Yeah. And are you going to go away again, or?
Yes. So we're planning. That's another thing, the beauty of online, if anyone's thinking about it. Now, I would always say with online, I do think get your experience in the gyms. Do you know what I mean? Get your experience behind you. But
I respect that.
Yes.
I feel that is very, very, very important.
Yeah, like, wow. I am grateful. When I get a problematic client. And their mind, like, do you know what I mean? When I have a client now, I don't mean problematic in a bad way, but, might have some sort of nutrition that they need to home in on or something. Yeah.
Past injuries.
Injuries is a huge one as well. And I'm like, well, I've actually dealt with these people in person and I know exactly what exercises to do or what helps them or what doesn't. Or actually, I've seen this happen to someone's knee in person before. Do you know what I mean? And yes, experience on the gym floor, huge.
Common trends, like with people. I recognize that. Oh, that's very common in a lot of clients, or because they don't know. They don't know if you're an online client. How do I do a lunge? Now the problems that they're going to run into because you've had brand new people in front of you in your presence, seeing physically.
So I do 100% back getting experience on the gym floor. Like there's no other way around it. There isn't. And then online, it is amazing because I think as well for me, with the presence that I kind of created and engagement I created with social media, it kind of expanded nicely for myself and I could help a lot more people. So that's why online is amazing for myself at the moment. But as well as that, as you said, if you wanted to go abroad and work, if you
Yeah.
wanted to move away, like you can do it from wherever
Yeah.
you want. And
I love
Yeah.
the freedom of being
yes.
self-employed in that sense. You have this control over how you want to live, and
Yeah.
like that. If you want to travel the world, you can travel.
But
the
you
world.
know what's
If you
yeah.
move your business online, and a lot of people are online. They're working away and stuff. So, you know, you might move away with your company, and you'll need an online trainer. Because
Yeah.
There might be gyms in the area. You might have
Or you're
to
constantly
train
changing
in your
up.
hotel
Yeah,
room,
yeah,
or
yeah.
you might be in a villa or wherever. So you need that.
100%. The funny thing I always think as well with being self-employed is that it's amazing. And as I said before, I never wanted to chase money. Like when people are like, what's your idea of success? Or, do you know, like, what's your idea of success? Like, what would you say?
I want to be happy, so I'd like
Yes, happiness,
And
yeah.
for me, when I'm with people and teaching and connecting with people, that just makes me happy. And I love learning from people. But I have always supported myself. You do need to pay the bills in the back.
Yeah,
as
100%.
Well.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's trying to find that balance of, you know, being able to live a life and travel and do the things.
And
that you
also
like to
follow
do,
your heart,
but
yeah.
also do what needs to be done for your soul. And
Yeah, because I was always like, money just doesn't drive me. Do you know, like, as you said, you have to obviously live. But freedom did. Like, freedom was in my heart and soul. I was like, I want to be able to be like, okay, well, if I want to hop up and leave, or do you know what I mean? If I want to do this, or if I want to move abroad, and just not have someone over you, kind of looking over you. Like, it's mad because I only saw my granddad yesterday, and again, they don't really understand the concept of what I'm doing, but you know, they're getting there.
But your family are quite home people, aren't they?
Yeah.
A big family, and everyone's always
they're
like, where are you going? Like,
and do you know what? He was just like, well, how are you getting on? Are you not working today? It's bank holiday. I was like, no, I am. I have to go upstairs. And he was kind of like, what? Like, I was like, yeah, I'm just doing my online work. And he was like laughing, and I was like, look, I was like, when I'm bringing you all to Barbados, you won't be laughing, like, you know. And he was laughing, yeah. And he literally goes, well, I always say that you'll never become a billionaire working 40 hours for someone else. And I was like, yes. And I was like, and you also won't gain any type of self-freedom if you're working 40 hours for someone else. And it's great, like, obviously, having a stable job. I don't say that's wrong, but that was not what set my heart on fire. Do you know what I mean? And I do think he was obviously saying, look, you'll never be financially like rich if you're working for someone else. But for me, I was like, I'll never actually be free if I'm constantly under someone else's watch or under someone else's kind of, you know, wings. And I was kind of like, so that really was a huge one for me. But then working for yourself, like, is very stressful. Like, I was like, whoa, like, it's very stressful, but it's amazing. The pros outweigh.
Because a lot of my friends now have had babies, and all my family, like my brother, there's so many kids, and people are always like, oh, you don't know how hard it's going to be a parent until you're a parent, and it's amazing, and it's all these benefits, but you just don't know how hard it is. And that's what it's like to be self-employed, guys.
100%.
It's fantastic, and you're seeing everything, but you know, like, it is, there are actually,
it's a child. No, like, it's my baby, like, oh my God, if one thing goes wrong, you can't go into your boss and say, hello, this kind of went wrong. You fix that. Do you know what I mean? And if you can't, like, that's even more mentally draining. So I will, anyone that's starting, it's literally, I'm like, this is my baby, like, and I'll do anything for it. That's the thing. That's one thing that I will always say. Anyone starting either PT, online, anything that you're doing.
Business.
Like, you will have to make sacrifices for it, and you will have to do things that maybe your average friend working 9 to 5 or so on and so forth might not have to do. But that is how you scale those ladders, because you cannot have a 9 to 5 mindset. You cannot have, you know, thinking of success but still doing the things you do on the weekend, or still, you know, fobbing off, kind of doing check-ins or clients to, you know, go out for a meal. Like, you need to make these sacrifices in order to really, really grow and actually become successful. But that's one not a con. No, but it's very tough, and finding the balance between those sacrifices.
You need to be aware that there are, you know, you have to work your ass off too. It's not as simple as, oh, I got my qualification, and why am I?
Unfortunately not. No.
Famous online trainer. It's like, you have to put the work in.
Living in Dubai, like, literally. But like, it is, and anyone, like, sacrifices are ginormous, and like, not that you have to make ginormous sacrifices, but you do have to make them.
It's easier.
The pros outweigh.
If you're doing something you love and you're passionate about and you're helping people, the rewards are greater. So
Yeah, no, it is. And it's 100%, yeah, like I'm even just smiling thinking about what I do. Do you know what I mean? And I love it and I'm so passionate about it. But yeah, like it's hard work. And it's amazing hard work because you get to look back at it and be like, I did that. Like I grew this. I did this. There was no one helping me. There was no one backing me but myself. Now, obviously you have a support system, of course, but yeah, there's no better feeling than that.
Right, I'm going to finish up the podcast with asking you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't worry about this because I've just decided to do it.
Okay, we're ready.
So I want like probably the piece of advice that you'd give. You can take a minute to think about it.
Oh, I know.
To
I know,
anyone,
yeah.
like, first of all, they haven't done the course yet. They haven't decided to do it. And then I want piece of advice for somebody who's just finished the course.
And going into it.
And then I want a piece of advice that you'd give yourself in this current moment going forward.
My younger self, maybe. Or
No,
me
your-
now.
no, your
Okay.
present self.
Okay. Do you know what? When you're making a decision, especially as like, do you know, I want to do this course, I want to do this. I remember my dad gave me the best piece of advice ever, and you can take it whatever way you wish, but this is how I took it. I was literally about to sit my junior cert, like, do you know, and that's just anxiety through the walls at the time. And he was like, Rachel, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And I was like, no, I do. Like, you have to. He was like, there's only, all you have to do in life is die. He was like, that's all that happens. That's the only thing that's sure in this life. And I took a step back, and how I took that was, right, we're born, we live our life and then we die, and that's all we know. We were born and we die. And I was like, everything in between that is your choice. Everything that you do is a decision that you make, is a choice that you make. And if you are waking up every morning and thinking about something that you're trying to decide on, that's a sign in itself. You are to make these decisions in order to put a foot obviously forward and go forward, but you also don't want to take the decision and regret it. So definitely always kind of thinking about, well, future me, will I be grateful for this?
Yeah, because that present moment you probably didn't want to take.
No, not at all. Oh yeah, that's all I had to think about. Yeah. All you have to think about is your future self, and if you're going to regret not doing it, or if you're going to be fulfilled by doing it. And they're all your decisions, no one else's. Like that piece of advice it's morbid in one, but how I took it was, this is the most positive thing that I can do, because this is my decision to do this. And it made me feel better. Yeah. For anyone that has kind of done the course and coming out of it now, believe in yourself. Oh my God, it's so cliche, but you don't need anyone else's belief system. You don't need to do this to gain, like, you know, clarity from Instagram, or to gain, you know, the support of a friend or a boyfriend or someone that you like. It is for yourself. As we've said, you're going to be making sacrifices. You're the one putting in the graft. You're the one building this, and looking back, you're doing it for yourself. You are not doing it for anyone else around you.
Against you out there.
Yes.
Stay true to you.
Tunnel vision. Oh, wow, tunnel vision. And please take the jump quicker than you need to, because as I said, you could be in a secure job, or you could be doing this and you make great money from this, but your heart isn't in it. Take the jump, because you'll be waiting forever. Yeah. No.
Go now.
But you'll be waiting forever, because you're never going to be ready. Do you know what I mean? So do pull the Band-Aid off. Do it. Yeah. And then for myself moving forward, I do think a huge one for me, and obviously I've gotten this far, and now to go even further, as I said, I need to keep growing, so I need to monitor that, and not because, I always say, it's not because of money, nothing to do with that, but more so because of myself. I don't want to be comfortable. I don't want to get into a kind of place where I'm like, this is fine, all is good. I want to constantly be upping myself for my clients, for me, for my business, for everything like that. And I do think when you come to that point where you might sometimes slip into comfortable, and sometimes slip into something that you're just, you know, this is nice, I hate that word, and something that you like, that's when you need to push. Even doing this now today, I was so nervous, do you know what I mean? And doing something like this, but this is exactly the things that I need to do to grow. Yeah. These are out of my comfort zone. This is something I need to do to grow. So when you do get to that point where you feel like, okay, I need to get further, like,
and when opportunities come up,
take them. Oh my God, push yourself. Always, yeah. But yeah,
I loved having you here today.
Thank you so
much.
much.
What people need to see, that inspirational woman just going after.
What's your
what
piece of
you
advice?
deserve.
No, I want to know your piece of advice there.
Keep
Yeah,
believing in yourself, because you have the ability to change lives by being your authentic self. You're a gorgeous person, right?
Yeah.
Like you really are, and I see that in you, and I see you showing glimpses and being vulnerable, and I love that. And you don't know how many people you're touching.
I'm crying. No, I'm joking. Yeah,
That's
no.
the truth of it, and I understand how hard it is to be yourself.
In a word, and honestly, it's hard to
really
show up.
great
Yeah.
to see, and it's inspiring for other women, young women, and women older to see.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can be successful.
You can come up and be real.
And
You
it's
can,
scary,
yeah.
just go for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, 100%. And but always ask questions as well.
Just
Literally,
keep going,
we're asking
like,
questions
just
and we're
keep
pushing
going.
ourselves
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
believing, and
we're
that's the whole
always
thing.
Learning.
Yeah.
We don't have all the answers, but we want to learn more. We want to follow up, and we want to keep climbing that ladder and holding each other up.
Yeah. Yeah, but you need to show up in order to do that. So we know that. We're getting there, 100%. But yeah, thank you so much. That was honestly amazing. It was deadly to be here as well. Thank you. I know. No, stop.